You think reacting makes you strong, but it's actually what makes you weak. Every time you explode, snap back, or let a tiny trigger hijack your mood, you hand over your power. People believe self-control is about suppressing anger, but that's wrong. Real control is refusing to be a puppet. Imagine being untouchable. Insults slide off, chaos swirls around you, yet you remain steady. That's not coldness, that's strength, that's freedom. And freedom begins the exact moment you stop reacting to everything. I know this lesson the hard way. I've led teams, faced criticism, and lost my temper more times than I can count. But every breakthrough I've had came when I stopped reacting and started choosing my response instead. Look at your day for a moment. How many times do you let something tiny take over? A rude driver cuts you off. Your blood pressure spikes. Your phone buzzes during dinner. And suddenly you're pulled away from the people right in front of you. Someone disagrees with you online, and instead of moving on, you spend hours replaying the argument in your head. These little reactions don't feel big in the moment, but strung together, they drain you. They rob your peace, your focus, your energy. Here's the trap. You think reacting is natural, even necessary, that if you don't push back, you're weak. But the truth? Reacting doesn't prove strength. It proves you're controlled by moods, by other people, by noise. The new frame is this: not reacting isn't weakness, it's power, it's clarity, it's choosing when to act instead of being yanked around by everything outside you. And that choice is where real freedom starts. A few years ago, I was running a project with a team that was already stretched thin. Deadlines were tight, pressure was constant, and every day felt like walking a tightrope over fire. I barely slept, my mind buzzing with checklists and worst-case scenarios. Then one afternoon, in the middle of a meeting, a client blindsided me with a harsh critique. They tore apart weeks of work in front of my team. My chest tightened, my face got hot, and everything in me wanted to snap back. I wanted to prove them wrong, to defend myself, to react. And I did. I pushed back hard. My voice was sharp, my words cutting. For a moment, I felt powerful. But when the meeting ended, I looked around at my team. They weren't energized by my defense. They were drained, their shoulders slumped, their faces tight. And the client? They weren't convinced. They only dug their heels in deeper. All I had really done was hand over my control. I left that room angrier at myself than at them, ashamed that I'd let my emotions lead. That night, I sat awake replaying the whole scene, over and over, like a movie I couldn't stop. Why did I let one person's words hijack me? Why did I give them that kind of control? I remembered a line I'd read from Marcus Aurelius: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That sentence hit me like a hammer. I realized I'd been living as though reacting was my only option. But what if it wasn't? What if I could pause instead? The next week, it happened again. Another tense meeting, another wave of criticism. Only this time I caught it. I felt the heat rise, the urge to fight back, but I didn't. I stayed quiet for a moment. I breathed. I let the words hang there. And something wild happened. The tension in the room dropped. My team looked to me, not with fear, but with relief. The client, expecting a clash, actually softened. By not reacting, I'd shifted the whole energy of the room. That was the start of a bigger shift in me. I began to see my reactivity everywhere, in traffic, in arguments, even in how I checked my phone. And slowly, I started practicing the pause. Not perfectly, not always, but more and more. The less I reacted, the more in control I felt. The more I felt like myself again. And it spread. My relationships grew calmer. My stress dropped. I stopped walking into rooms carrying the weight of every trigger from the day. That's when I learned the truth. Reacting feels powerful in the moment, but restraint builds real power over time. And once you feel that power, you don't want to go back. From that experience, I pulled out a few mental models that I keep with me to this day. They're simple, but they change everything once you start living by them. The first one, space is strength. The moment between stimulus and response is the most powerful real estate in your life. That tiny pause, one breath, one beat, is where your freedom lives. If you lengthen that space, even just slightly, you multiply your options. Reacting shrinks your world. Pausing expands it. The second, don't pick up the rope. Think of conflict like a tug of war. Someone throws an insult, that's them tossing you a rope. If you grab it, you're locked in their game. If you leave it on the ground, the game ends before it begins. Most arguments only exist because we agree to play. Refuse to pick up the rope, and suddenly you're free. And the third, mood follows meaning. We think our mood is driven by the outside world, but more often it's driven by the stories we tell ourselves. If you frame criticism as an attack, you'll stew in anger. If you frame it as feedback or noise you don't need to carry, your mood changes instantly. The story you attach to events decides your state. 3 simple models. Space is strength. Don't pick up the rope. Mood follows meaning. They're easy to remember, but they only work if you practice them in real time, especially when your nerves are screaming at you to react. So, how do you put this into practice without turning your whole life upside down? You start small, tiny tweaks. Think of it like strength training for your mind. You don't walk into the gym and deadlift 400 pounds. You begin with what you can handle. Step 1. Practice the pause. The next time you feel that surge, the heat in your chest, the words climbing your throat, buy yourself 2 seconds. Literally count 1, 2 in your head before you respond. That's it. 2 seconds can change everything. Step 2. Redirect your body. Reactivity lives in your physiology. Shoulders tense, jaw clenches, breath shortens. Interrupt it by doing the opposite. Drop your shoulders, loosen your jaw. Take 1 slow breath in, 1 slow breath out. I used to do this sitting in traffic, gripping the wheel. The moment I softened my grip and exhaled, the anger drained. Your body teaches your mind that you're not in danger. Step 3. Pre-frame your day. If you wake up and roll straight into chaos, you're already on defense. Instead, set one intention in the morning. Today, I will not pick up the rope. Write it down, say it out loud, put it on your phone background. That tiny ritual tells your brain, I choose how I'll show up today. Step 4. Celebrate restraint. Most people only reward themselves for action. Flip it. When you catch yourself holding back instead of lashing out, notice it. Tell yourself, that's strength. Reinforcement makes the habit stick. These steps aren't glamorous, they're not dramatic, but stacked up day after day, they build the muscle of restraint. You don't become untouchable by accident. You become untouchable by practicing the pause until not reacting feels easier than losing control. Now, maybe you're thinking, but if I don't react, won't people walk all over me? Won't I seem weak? That's the fear most of us carry. We confuse silence with surrender, but restraint isn't the same as doing nothing. It's choosing when, where, and how to act. Think about fire. A spark can flare instantly, quick, bright, and gone, or it can be contained, focused, used to forge steel. Which one is more powerful, the quick spark or the steady flame? That's what restraint gives you. It doesn't erase action. It makes your action sharper, stronger, and on your terms. I used to worry that staying calm made me look passive, but what I found is the opposite. People respect steadiness. They trust someone who can't be easily rattled. You don't lose power by holding back. You gain it. Because the strongest person in the room isn't the loudest, it's the one who can't be moved. So here's your challenge. This week, practice the pause. One breath, one beat, before you respond. Notice how much lighter you feel. And if you want to go deeper, watch the next video. It will take you further.